This is Tuesday's broadcast to Amazon Live, and I'm just waiting for the signal to go from my BeLive studio over to OneStream, and it's on its way, and I can now press go live on Amazon and send the signal to Amazon Live. Okay, and then it should go over, theoretically, in the Amazon Live app, and I can press the go live button and I'll be live. My record for doing this, I'm not going to break it today. Yeah, we're going to go live now. So we're live. Get ready to go live. We're live on Amazon Live. We've got 5 seconds to spare. Yesterday it was 7 seconds. The last drink of tea. And we're ready to go. And hello. Hello and welcome to today's broadcast about lights, camera, action. If I go over here, I can go to my menu. I'm in my BeLive studio as usual, and it's a little bit dark. So let's switch the light on. On Amazon Live, we've got 5 seconds to spare. Yes, you can hear noises in the background. I'm going to close that, and come back to the studio. Right, okay, so now know that I'm live on Facebook. Hello, Facebook. No, hello, YouTube. We're on YouTube. Hello, LinkedIn. And finally, of course, hello to everybody watching live on Amazon. Welcome to today's broadcast. And we're going to be looking at today, welcome to the show, and lights, camera, action with Stephen. Today's topic. So we're going to be looking at lights and cameras and action. First thing though is I just want you to see this photograph. This is where I live, which is Devizes in England, which is about 97 miles away from London. We don't have a train service yet. Ours was dismantled in the 1960s, and we're waiting for it to return, which it should do in 2 years' time. In 2 years' time, Devizes will be connected to London via the rail, which will be good. All right, this is obviously Devizes town centre as at December. I'm grateful to Richard Edwards for the photograph. On the right-hand side, the building that's lit is the Corn Exchange, which is where farmers used to come to sell their produce. Next to that is the Bear Hotel, which was a coaching inn. And it is a beautiful town. We have a population of about 23,000, and it's a great place to live. It's close to Stonehenge, it is close to Avebury, and it's close to Salisbury. So, but today, he said, today is decidedly cold. Winter is on its way again. We've got snow due tomorrow and over the weekend. Right, okay, now let's introduce you to a few people. I'm going to be talking today about the Logitech Litra light, which is shining down on me at the moment, and I'm going to feature it in the carousel. So we've got it in the carousel, and I'll tell you the story behind the light. And you can see in the photograph Marco Nevo, my good friend from Portugal, and Daniel Sigmund, who is from Logitech, and Daniel and Marco were talking about Logitech cameras, of course, and about lights. Okay, now I do have a demonstration area. That's my second camera. That is the OBSWAT Tiny, and it's centered on my work surface just to show live. Okay, so that's the camera that's actually focused on that area. We're looking what the OBSWAT Tiny can do, and also in today's broadcast we'll be looking at broadcasting to your website, which is something that I'm pretty keen about, because your website is your own territory and you're in total control of it. So broadcasting to your website where people can actually watch your videos and read your blog posts and visit your shop are all part of today's broadcast. And I just need to go here. Okay, so I'm back. Now, if you've any questions whilst I'm live, about any aspect of live broadcasting, about any of the products that are down in the carousel below, then please do ask. I'm here to help and guide. I've been doing this live broadcasting thing for the last 6 years, and anything that I've learnt, I will gladly pass on to you. If you've got questions about kit, questions about software, questions about live broadcasting, then please do ask. So let's come to me. Okay, now, one of the most important aspects of any live broadcast, you've got a camera and you're watching now. You're watching Stephen live from England. Let's just change something so that the lettering isn't so big. And go there and apply. Go there and apply. Okay, so you're watching Stephen live from Wiltshire in England. And I'm broadcasting using BeLive. And wherever you see this logo, that's the BeLive logo there. And 8 people on screen, and it broadcasts to Amazon Live without a problem. And I enjoy using it. I've been using BeLive since October 2016, and when BeLive got RTMP, I knew that I wanted to be my own studio broadcasting to Amazon Live, and I'm happy to do that. I'm also happy to be on Amazon Live. So thank you for joining me today. And I'm going to hide the logo, and we're ready to go. Okay, so we're going to be talking about all sorts of things, but I just want to say thank you for watching me. Okay, it is important, and I do appreciate the fact that you're spending part of your day with me. And let's start by looking at products. And if I go over here, let's go take me off screen. So what we're going to be talking about, I'm going to be using my second camera. I'm going to hide it though for the moment. You know I'm from Devisors in Wiltshire in England, and you know that I'm going to be talking about websites. So we're going to start here. And this, as I said, I watched this 3 weeks ago, and the item that Daniel Zigman of Logitech is actually showing at the moment is a Logitech Litra Lite. Now, I do know that yesterday, people watching this broadcast bought this light, and it's absolutely wonderful that I watched an Amazon live show with my good friend Marco Novo from Portugal, and Daniel Zigman saw this light, and I thought that light looks good. I'd like to have one. Okay, because the problem was that for the last 3 years I've been lit by 2 softboxes, one either side of me. Okay, and they shone on the wall in front of me, and the light reflected back, and it was good. But as my partner Angelica said, they were 3 years old, they were bulky and fraying at the edges, so they were taken to the local centre, and we took them to bits and took them to the disposal centre, and they're now X-Lights. So I was looking for a new light, and I saw Marco with Daniel, and I thought that looks like a good light. So, like we all do, I clicked the link in the carousel down below. I read the Amazon.com page, watched some videos about it, read the reviews. Then I went over to YouTube and I watched a couple of YouTube videos about it. I was happy that it did what I wanted to do. So I came back to Amazon, ordered it, and 2 of them arrived the following day. Okay, so the first one is actually lighting me at the moment. Okay, it's the only lighting I've got in the room. And the second one is here. This is the light, Logitech Litra light, as it comes in the box. Okay, it's got cellophane around the bottom, and it's got cellophane around the back of the light. Okay, that's as packed. So this is out of the box. The light itself, you can change the angle. So you can come down to an angle of about 75 degrees, and you can go back again. So what you do is you put your shelf up. Okay, that goes over the top of your monitor or your PC. Okay, now mine goes is physically now over the top of my BenQ monitor, which is down in the carousel, 27-inch monitor, beautiful monitor. And so you pull that shelf out and it goes back over the monitor. Then you can control it. But before you do anything, you must plug in, and this sounds silly, but there is a point to this. You actually plug in the cable that is supplied in the box. Okay, so this cable is actually supplied in the box. It's been optimized for use with the light. There is no reason I can think of to use any other cable than the one supplied. It's got a USB connection, USB-C to USB-A, so it will plug into your Windows or Mac machine without a problem, really. And you can switch it on. I'm going to switch it on now. Okay, so I'm even better lit now. So there's the light, and you can see I'm working now with 2 literal lights, one that I'm holding there and one up above me. And I'm not being, well, I'm not being distracted by them. They're not straight in my face. They are very soft lights. They're not harsh. Yeah, if you've got a softbox blasting at you, then you wouldn't be able to see. With these lights, you can. So the switches, you've got a central button, okay, which is there. It's cut off now. You've got the on-off button. You've got the controls for temperature and controls for brightness. So you can set it up, this light, as you want. You've got 7 presets. Okay. Now, the light itself is extendable. So you can just take it up like that. Okay. And that means you can give the light a different angle. You can turn the light to the left or to the right. Let's bring it down a bit. Turn the light to the left or to the right. Yeah. Or down. Okay. So that's the flexibility of it. Okay. And variations you can get. Now, you can, if you wish, okay. I did this yesterday just for practice. I know this works. Okay. Everything I'm telling you about actually works. You can basically take this light off its stand. This is the stand it comes with. You can twist, literally twist, take it off, and then you can put it onto a tripod stand. Now, the benefit of that is that you can then position the camera anywhere about your desking. Okay, and that gives you great control. So the fact that you can swap stands over, I mean, there's a great, like all Logitech products, I mean, you're watching Logitech Brio camera now. Like all Logitech products, there's a great deal of thought goes into design, and being able to put it on a tripod gives it great flexibility. So those are the physical attributes of the lights, and you can actually see the light here. Now, if I had to reach over to actually control the light, the working light in front of me, then that would be, during a live broadcast, that would be difficult. So there is, he said, carefully putting this light down, there is software which controls the light. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. So let's go to share screen, and we'll get there in a second. And I'm going to share the application with you. And this is the application that actually controls the lights. And hopefully I've got it down at the bottom and I can bring it up on screen. Okay, this is the software. Now, software is Logitech G Hub. Now, Logitech G Hub is well known to gamers. It's been around for a couple of years. And to say thank you to Daniel Mocco for introducing me to this light, and hide them, and then go picture in picture. So there you have it. This is the software that controls the lights, and I can switch them on and off using the software. So if I switch them off, you will see that I will go, if I put myself side by side, I'm about to go dark. Okay, no light. No lights on. So switch the light on and I am illuminated. Now, it comes with 7 presets. What I'm going to do is go through the presets now. So this is the brightest of the presets. And you can see it's a bit too bright, really. The second one is called Bright Cool Blue. Then there's Cozy Daylight, which is quite good. If we put that full screen, that's quite a good look. Okay, because you've got total freedom in how you look because you've got 7 different lightings. So let's go on to the third one, and they're set for different times of day. So this is mild afternoon, and again, that's how it looks. And after mild afternoon, what comes? Soft sunset, which is a bit softer light. And then the next one is cozy. I quite like this one, okay, because there's a color. Yeah, it's putting color in my cheeks. Okay, it looks good, and I'm standing out against the background, so that's quite good. And then the next one, going to the controls again, the software you can see on the right hand side. I can go to the next one, and that one is horrible. Okay, you've got to admit that this one is horrible, but this is not Logitech's fault. This is me. As well as the presets that actually come with the camera, you can set your own. So this is the one I did. Let's try and refine it a little bit. So we've got the controls to the right of us, and I can control the brightness and the temperature. Now the temperature is the first one. If I pull that down a bit, yeah, you can see that the color in my cheeks is gradually disappearing. Okay, and then I can change the brightness. Okay, and I can go dark. Okay, so let's have some brightness. So I'm going to turn it up slowly, and you can see that what's happening is my picture is changing until I get to a point where I'm reasonably happy with it. Okay, so the fact that this light, this one, Logitech Litra, has 7 different presets, is controlled by software. It means that you can change your lighting during a broadcast when you're on Zoom. This is great lighting for Zoom. It's great lighting for live broadcasting. I've just got one of these lights pointing down at me. That's all. I bought the second one so I can actually show it to you. Okay, so over the last week, I've learned how to use and optimize the light. And I can only say that this is better than my 2 softboxes. And at the price that it is down the carousel today, $59.99, I mean, it's a good price, is all I'm saying. It's a good quality build. We know all about Logitech. We know their cameras. This is the first ever light that they've made. It was released in January 2022. So if you've not heard of it before, it's because it's only 2 months old. And it is so flexible with the shelf that goes over the back of your monitor, the ability to use a tripod stand if you wish, the ability to angle the light any which way you want to get the best. And I had great fun. I had great fun actually working with this light to work out the best way. Now, at the moment, just it's on, it's like that, and the light is pointing down. So that's how the light above me looks. And that's how I'm lighting myself throughout the broadcast today. So we'll come back to Litra Light. Litra Light trips off the tongue, doesn't it? We'll come back to the Litra Light later, but it is down in the carousel, and today's price is $59.99. I did sell, and every time I show this, I do sell some of the lights because at the price, yeah, I mean, I bought 2. One for my, if I go here, I've got one light that will be on my demonstration area. Okay, so one light will be on the demonstration area on the right, and the other light is on me. So I've got 2 of them working today. Okay, back to me. Now, I'm going to put the light back where it lives, which is on top of my Microsoft Surface Book 2. Microsoft Surface Book 2, down in the carousel. First, you should be aware there's a Microsoft Surface Book 3, but the Microsoft Surface Book 2 I've had for 2 years. 16 gig of RAM, 1 terabyte hard drive, twin graphics processors. It's a workhorse. It's a beautiful piece of kit, and I'm broadcasting using it today. I'm also broadcasting using Logitech Litra Light. There is no other light on in my office. and it's the only thing that's actually lighting me. Okay, so now where do we go? And I'm going to go on to one of my favorite pieces of kit, and that's the Logitech C920X, which is, oh, wait a minute. How could I do that? I've actually been doing some work this morning, and the light itself is hiding. Just a second. How is it? How is it? And this is a rhetorical question, really. How is it that wires get tangled up with each other? Never understood that. Put two wires together and they become entangled. This is the Logitech C920X camera, and this is the camera. I've had this camera for 6 years. It's as good as new. It works as good as new. So in terms of quality and how long does it last, I can say without fear of contradiction that this camera has lasted me 6 years and is working perfectly, as I'll prove in a moment. When you get the camera and you wrap it, you've got the lens in the center, and then you've got twin microphones at the side. Okay, so twin microphones. So this is the ideal first camera, because not only are you getting external camera, you're also getting external microphones. So how do you mount it? Well, the answer to that is that you pull down like that, and then it goes over the back of your monitor, and it sits, and you want to use this to adjust it so that you're comfortable with where the camera, when you're looking at the camera, you've got to be comfortable. I mean, ideally the camera would be in the middle of the screen, and I can just look straight ahead, but I need to look at the camera. So that's the one way, the main way that most people actually use this Logitech camera, is to actually have it on the monitor or on the PC or Mac like that. Okay, and that is very, very stable. The other way you can do it, this is the second time that my trusty tripod has appeared in the broadcast. On the foot of the is a little hole, which you can see now. And I can actually put my tripod on there, which means that I can then, and rather than having the camera mounted on the monitor, I can have it mounted anywhere on my desking. Okay, as long as the cable's long enough. Okay, I'll come back to length of cable in a minute. But this is the Logitech C920, and let's just basically, this is C920X. Okay, and I'm going to go to I've got an agenda, because I'm in my Be Live studio. I've got an agenda, so I can tell you all about the C920X. But before I do that, what I did this morning, and this is why the wires are tangled, is that I did a short video, and if I can find it, oh, it is there. Okay, I'm going to bring it up on screen. Oh, that's not a good look, is it? Okay, I mean, be fair, that's not the best look you've seen. So I'm going to quickly start the video. I'm going to put the video full screen. This basically, I'm here live. I'm on the, who is that guy? I'm on the Brio. Okay, we've talked about elytra lights, so I can hide those. I've told you about my second camera. So I want to start this video as quickly as possible. This is Logitech C920X. This is a video shot with the C920X, and this may be the only time that you ever get to see it. Let's go full screen. Switch my microphone off. The Logitech C920. I put it into service today, so I can actually give you an idea of what it actually looks like when you use it, because until now I've actually showed it you, but not able to see it. So this is the C920. It is capable of 720 and 1080p, and it has a 78 wide view field of vision. I've not got any lights on at the moment, so I'm going to have a go and do another video later this week to show you what the C920 actually looks like. It's a very good camera. I've had this camera for the last 6 years, and it stood me in good stead. It's the first camera I bought, first external camera. It's got twin microphones, it's got the lens, and basically takes a very good picture. I mean, for a 6-year-old camera, it's build quality is excellent, and the picture quality is very good too. If you're thinking of getting a camera for Zoom or for live broadcasting, this is the ideal first camera. Logitech are a well-respected company with a range of cameras and lights, and I just love my Logitech C920. That's all for now. I've brushed my hair since then. Believe it or not, that was actually shot earlier today, but I did want to show you, because normally I show you the Logitech camera and I don't have it plugged in. Yeah, so that was a genuine video shot this morning. Now, I did experiment a bit. I need to refine that. I need to get some lighting on, so I will refine that video. That may be the only time this video sees the light of day, but you've got to have some fun. And it did show the quality of what you can expect with the Logitech C920X camera. And it does allow us now at this moment to actually contrast the Logitech C920X on the right hand side with the Brio that's on the left hand side. Okay, now it's well known that the Logitech Brio camera is oversaturated as far as the color is concerned, but I did want to show you, rather than just showing you a piece of plastic, I did want to actually show it to you. And morning, Rome. My good friend and fellow broadcaster, Rome, has said good morning, and thank you for joining me, Rome. If you'd like to place your Amazon shop URL, because Rome's an Amazon insider as well, I've got to tell you, I actually go and watch Rome's shows so I can learn. Okay, and I cannot but recommend watching Rome's show. The thing is that I'll leave that guy for a moment. I'll bring him back. The thing is about Amazon Live is that we're independent broadcasters, Rome and I. We come here because we've been through a vetting process to actually go live on Amazon Live, and now we can go live on Amazon Live whenever we want. And I'm live at 9 a.m. Eastern every weekday, and after my show, I can go and watch Rome's broadcast. It all fits together nicely. And we talk about different things. We complement each other in both senses of that word. But Amazon Live is an amazing place where you can actually get involved if you wish. Yeah, just like Rome's made the comment now, you can make a comment, ask a question, get involved. Yeah, I'm here to help. Rome's here to help. We're here to help and guide. We use the kit that's down in the carousel. So when we talk about it, we know about it. That's the reason we're here, is because Amazon recognizes as being well known in our fields and influencers, and have the ability to actually talk about the kit in the carousel and do it with some enthusiasm. Well, I do, because I own everything, virtually everything that's in the carousel. So Rome, thank you. And if you want to put a link in, please do. Okay, let's have a last look at this guy on the right hand side. I think I'm not going to shoot video early in the morning. I think that's the idea. Shoot the video when you've woken up. But that gave you an insight in oh dear, that gave you an insight into what the camera looks like. But this is the Logitech C920X, and the X stands for extra. The Logitech C920 has an extra, C920X, and that extra is, it includes 3 months license of XSplit VCam. Now, XSplit VCam is quite probably the best background removal software. That's why I've got my green screen, because of background removal software. And XSplit VCam is quite possibly the best background removal software there is. And what I have is, I've got a short video, which I'm going to find. I'm determined to find it. I'm looking down in the carousel, and hopefully I will spot it in a second. And no, that's not it. I've lost it. I've lost a video. Don't panic. Leave that to me. I had it earlier. I know I did. I should have had it. Oh, right, I found it. It was hiding. Okay. The video was hiding. I'll take myself off full screen. Okay. Now, the C920X, brilliant first camera, and it comes with this software, 3-month license for this software. And rather than tell you about it, I'm going to show you what the XSplit VCam software can do. So let's put the video full screen. Let's turn my microphone off. Butcher in England, and I'm here to give you an overview of XSplit VCam, how it works. Background removal tool I've been using since January 2019, and it just keeps getting better and better. Now, the image behind me is one of Salisbury Cathedral, and the acid test of any background removal tool is that you still have 10 fingers with little webbing between them. Okay, so that test passed. Second is the outline of your body. Those are the things to look for when you're looking at a green screen, the ability to actually move about. So let's take a look at the software itself. And this is the XSplit VCam program. Okay, now you notice at the top there, it says original. This is me. This is also me. So this is how I look normally. Now, first stage is to actually remove the background. So let's remove the background by pressing the button, and I get background's gone. Okay, prove that if I go here, background has disappeared. Okay, so the next step is to select a background to go in place, and you can do that just by clicking an image. You'll get a different background. Okay, that's it. That's very colorful. Now, just a warning, you need to make sure that the image at the top is not too light. Okay, what you don't want is to have an image too light at the top. If you try it, you'll see what I mean. Okay, now XSplit VCam is an external program which you download from XSplit, and it sits on your computer and you can use it in this way. Okay, so over to one of my favorite backgrounds. So I'm just switching background. Now, if I go to here, you can actually see that I can get backgrounds from several sources. I can upload a media file. Okay, and I'm going to upload a media file. I'm going to go on my hard drive to artwork and to reduced. Okay, and I'm going to bring up this image, and that's it. That's how easy it is to take an image from your hard drive and bring it on screen. Second thing you can do is you can run a YouTube video. Now I can show you a sample. Second thing you can do is you can have a YouTube video, and I'm just going to take that off screen. Okay, because this is all included with the C920X. This is what the extra stands for. X is for extra, and extra is XSplit VCam, which I've been using since January 2019. I've got an annual subscription, brilliant software, and I can use this green screen to actually have different backgrounds. Come on to the green screen in a minute. So if I go and I try and take that off screen, okay, having one of those days today. Right, so the C920X includes XSplit VCam. Also, just going through the C920X itself, it's basically ideal first camera. The X stands for extra. We know what the extra is. It is a full HD 1080p and 720p. We're broadcasting today in 720p. P stands for pixels, and more pixels, the clearer the picture. As I showed you, and this is true of all Logitech cameras, you've got twin microphones, omnidirectional, which means they pick up all the sound, which means you've got to have some form of noise cancellation. It's got HD light correction, so if you're in a low light situation, the camera will compensate. Okay, and the next one's quite a long one, but I'm going to show you this in a moment. It has advanced capture software, a piece of software called Logitech Capture, and I'm going to show you that in a moment. That's how you actually control your Logitech camera, be it the C920, 922, 925, 930, or a Brio. Okay, and low light setting, just mentioned that, and it's got a 78-degree field of view. Okay, now that's not exactly 78, but it's not 90. Yeah. The Brio camera has a 90-degree field of view, and it was this version of the camera. I've had mine for 6 years, but the current version of the camera was released on March 31st, 2020. Okay, so it's been slightly re-engineered from mine. And as I say, final thing is it does include 3 months of XSplit VCam. So that's my first camera. When I was broadcasting, I've been broadcasting 6 years, and that was the first external camera I bought, because buying an external camera is a step forward. You start off broadcasting with your internal camera, your internal microphone. Once you know you're happy live broadcasting, because this is not for everybody, once you're happy live broadcasting, then you can invest in additional equipment. And the first thing that I bought 6 years ago was this very camera, and that's why it's dear to me. It's Logitech C920. You saw a video a moment ago of it working, which may never see the light of day again. I'll make a new video. Now I know what I'm doing, because I was using some external software and I need to get my lighting right. Okay, so that's Logitech C920X. Now, to the camera that you're actually looking at now. You're actually looking at a Logitech Brio camera. And what I'm going to do, because we've talked about the lights, is I'm just going to, excuse me a moment. Okay, I'm going to go over here. Right, I now have, in addition to the light, I've got the room lights on now, because it's going to be winter in Devizes tomorrow. We're getting snow, and we don't get snow in Devizes. We're in a golden triangle that doesn't get snow, but tomorrow we will. That's why it's darn cold outside today. But I'm still going in the garden after this broadcast. I've got a path where I'm actually using a half moon to give it a straight edge. Okay, so that's my next job after this live broadcast, is to go in the garden and do a bit of gardening. Angelica was out there earlier, so I've got to go out as well. If Angelica goes in the garden and does some work, then I've got to go. It's only fair, isn't it? So that's what we're up to. Right, so the camera you're looking at now is the Logitech Brio. Now, Logitech Brio is my favorite camera, apart from the favorite, which I'll show you in a moment. It's up above me now. It's mounted on my BenQ monitor and it's pointed directly at me, and I'm looking at the camera, not looking at my screen. Okay, now looking at that, we're going to that during the course of this week's broadcast. I'm live at 9 AM Eastern every single day. Logitech Brio is capable of 720, 1080 and 4K, which is why I got it. Okay, now 720 I'm broadcasting to you now. 1080 is HD, and you can't go on Facebook in 1080, but you can go on YouTube in 1080, you can go on Twitch in 1080, you can go on Twitter in 1080, and that's 720 is DVD quality, 1080 is high quality, high definition, and then you go to 4K, and 4K just blows me away. I mean, I can't broadcast to you in 4K because we don't have the internet infrastructure to actually support that. So one day we will, but at the moment, if I'm broadcasting solo and I want to broadcast to YouTube, I can use a piece of software called XSplit Broadcaster. You've met XSplit VCam. XSplit Broadcaster is another piece of software from the same people, and it allows me to broadcast live in 4K out to YouTube in 4K. So I did this last week. I did a broadcast from my desktop using XSplit Broadcaster, using the Logitech Brio camera out to YouTube, and the video is on YouTube at the moment. It says broadcasting in 4K with XSplit Broadcaster, and the quality is, well, the quality of the video is just way above anything that I've seen before, and that I'm just grateful to actually be able to broadcast to YouTube in 4K. But a little thing, when you go and watch any YouTube video, you'll see a cog at the bottom of the screen down there. Click the cog and you can change the video resolution. Now, to watch a video in 4K on YouTube, you must click the cog and select the 4K resolution. Otherwise, YouTube will actually show you the video in 1080. Okay, so to get 4K, click the cog and you're in 4K. Now, I said earlier that it was software that could control the C920. Well, it also controls the Logitech Brio. So I'm going to show you now. I mean, the Logitech Brio is slightly similar to that, but it's different. You can see the image down in the carousel. If I go here, it is down the carousel now. It's 17% off today, and it's $166.09. Okay, so 17% off. 10,320, 4.5 stars. 10,320 reviews. 4.5 stars. That's pretty good. Right, okay, so without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing the software I was sharing earlier, and I'm going to share the software that actually controls Logitech Brio, the 922, and I'm just waiting for it to get it. I've got it. Okay. This software that I'm about to show you now, there are 2 versions of it, and a moment ago, we were told that there is advanced capture software where you can create and share video easily with Logitech Capture. Now, if you go to logitech.com, you can download Logitech Capture, and you can also download this software, which I'm about to show you. There are 2 versions, 2 Logitech's pieces of software you can use. I'm about to show you the second one. So let's take that off screen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my screen share in. Okay, so this is the software, and you can see bottom right hand corner, it's actually controlling my Brio, and in a second you will see my Brio. So we can say goodbye to the video, and we've just got the Brio now. Just let me go side by side. I just want to show something. So I want to go here and here. Right, I've changed my layout now so that we can actually go side by side like this, and you can see a wide angle shot of me. Okay, but this is the software. The first thing we can do with the software, and I'm controlling the software now, it's on my desktop. You download it, it finds your Logitech camera straight away, and you can switch to any of the cameras attached to your system. First thing you can do is that you can basically zoom in. Are you ready for this? My apologies for this in advance. Okay, you can get bigger and bigger, and that's not a good look, but it does allow me to emphasize one point. When you're broadcasting live to Zoom, particularly, or on the web, do not cut off your forehead. It's not a good look. What you should do is you should make sure that the top of your head is visible and that there is headroom. Having headroom, the space above your head, having headroom is important. Yeah, because that's the natural look. That's what people expect to see. They expect to see space above your head, not like that. Like that. Have some space at the top. Okay, because what we're doing now, we're doing 2 things. I'm showing you the software, but I'm also showing you how you can get your best look on camera, how you can become comfortable on camera. You have to be comfortable with the way that you look. Okay, I actually changed t-shirts twice today to make sure I had the look I wanted for today. Okay, so clothing and camera settings are how you actually start to get comfortable on camera. So I can zoom in, zoom out, and if I go here to emphasize this, I can actually go left and right. Okay, so I can go that way, I can go that way, and in a second I'll end up back where I was, and you can see the chest set bottom right hand corner. So those are the physical controls. I can zoom in, zoom out, I can pan up and down. I go that way, okay, and I can come back again. Again, you need to have some headroom. Now, there are 3 fields of view, okay, 90 degrees, 78 and 65. Let's go through them. This is the 90 degree view. Okay, now this is the view we all have when we start broadcasting. In other words, I'm part of this, okay, and you can see my set behind me, okay, and I'm going to take items and show them to you, okay. In terms of actually people concentrating on what you're saying and the objects that you're actually demonstrating, then it makes sense. Come back to here. That's how we all start, small. But when you get the confidence on camera, what you do is you actually tighten it to 78 degrees. Okay, so now I'm center screen. Yeah, I'll come back to that in a minute. And I'm happy with the way they look. And then I could go 65 degrees and you see the blue light's gone on. I've seen a blue light anyway. That's tighter. I prefer to be at 78 degrees. I think that gives a distraction of the chest set and the orange bits at the side. And that's quite a good look. Now, let's have some fun. Okay, if I go to the advanced settings, which I'm showing now on screen, I can increase the brightness. So I can go brighter than bright, and that's, you can't see me now, that is much too bright. I can go the other way, and again you can't see me because it's not bright enough. So I'm going to go back to 50, yeah, and the setting of 50 is the default. So let's try and edge there. I've got to 49. I'll settle for 49. Right, okay. Default is 50. I can change the color intensity. Yeah, so I can go brighter. That's much too bright. Or I can go darker. Okay, that's sepia. That's not a bad look because you could use that in certain circumstances to stand out against all the people who are actually using color. Change the intensity again. Go back to 50. And I'm slightly over, so let's go back to 50. And then the contrast, I can change the contrast both ways and then come back to 50. Okay, so that's the contrast settings. You might want to just to sort of have a little play with that till you actually get it right. And then auto white balance is great when the lighting is low. Otherwise, you can switch it off. Now, as I switched it off, then you saw a change straight away. I've gone from being red to my natural color. Okay, so I'm going to leave that setting as it is. Autofocus, which is the one which is bottom left, sorry, we don't use anymore. We don't need it. It's redundant. You don't need to use autofocus. But with the brightness, the color intensity, the contrast, the auto white balance, then you working out what your best look is on screen. And when you get to your best look, you don't touch it again. Okay, so that software is available for you to use. Any Logitech camera, software is free. Simply go to logitech.com, download the software, and you're good to go. Simple as that. You're looking at the Logitech Brio. You can't give a better demonstration than that. This is Logitech Brio. It's 166.09 today, and that's 17% off. Yeah, so 17% off. So let's go back to the menu again and go back to here. And this is Lights Camera Action with Stephen Healy, and you are watching Stephen live from Wiltshire in England, 97 miles from London, beautiful part of the UK. You must visit. You've got to go and come and see Stonehenge and Salisbury Cathedral and Avebury. Brilliant places to visit. Okay, so we've looked at two cameras. We've looked at the C920X and we've looked at the Logitech Brio. I'm going to take a sideways look now at something which is behind me, and let me go here. Oh, before I go there, okay, I'm going to bring my second camera in if I can find it. If you've seen it, let me know where it is, and I'm going to just a second. Oh, that's not it. Oh, I've got it. Okay, right. Okay, so that's the software. I can stop sharing. Software's gone, and we're now looking at the desktop. And if I go side by side, you can see that's my desktop. There's my iPad. just to show that we're live. Yeah. But I want to show you a unit that's actually on here, which has changed the way that I work. As you can see, and I'll show you a bit more, as you can see, I've got two cameras here. I've got two cameras and one microphone, and the second camera is actually pointing at the desktop, okay, which is over here. So this is the desktop, and this is the unit I want to talk about. It has changed the way that I broadcast, because I broadcast with two cameras, and it's all because of this here. This is the Anker 4-way USB hub at $17.99. For some unknown reason, computer manufacturers, be they Windows or Mac, never give us enough USB air ports. They don't. Simple as. There's no technical reason why, but they don't. So I wanted two cameras in my broadcast. So my solution is down in the carousel at the moment. It's the Anker 4-way USB hub, and it's changed. It has changed the way that I broadcast. This should be in all our toolkits, because it is, all right, it's old technology. It's been around forever. But the thing is, it actually does the job. I've got two cameras, one microphone, and a LED light plugged into this now, and they all work as if they were plugged in directly to my Microsoft Surface Book 2. This passes through. It's a powered USB hub, and basically all I can say is it works, and what it can do, having two cameras, one microphone, and a light, it's so easy to use. Okay, it's very slimline, so it looks good on the desktop. You unplug your camera, you plug this unit in, you plug your first camera, your second camera, your microphone, your light into here, and they will all work. Okay, plug them in whilst your computer's switched off though. They will all work, and they provide me with the ability to actually do a demonstration whilst I'm live using a second camera from my BeLive studio. It's been the best $17.99 I spent this year. It's my product of 2022, and I just love it. It's so easy. Just plug it in and play. Simple. Okay, so now we're going to move on. That's just something simple and straightforward. But the next thing I want to talk about is basically, if I go over here, just give me a second. Oh, right. If you've got any questions about anything I talk about, then please do ask in the comments. You are watching Stephen live from Wiltshire, England. I'm here to help answer questions about the items in the carousel, about anything about live broadcasting. That's what I'm here for. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to go on to is this, he said. Okay, it's the green screen that's behind me. Basically, there are software houses who provide the background removal software we saw earlier, like XSplit VCam, say to us that we do not need a green screen. And if you don't have a green screen and you use background removal software, it looks okay. But you may get a line around your head and your hair may blow in a non-existent breeze. Now, there are different qualities of background removal software, and they're all okay. But you can get better than okay. You can get near perfect if you've got a green screen. Yeah, the green screen makes all the difference. I'll show you in a moment, but this green screen behind me, the Fovitec, is the best that I've found. It's scrunchable. It's green on one side, blue on the other. You can scrunch it. It is transportable. It has its own carry case. There's even a video on YouTube showing you actually how to fold it up, because it's not intuitive. But once folded up, you put it in the case and you take it away. Now, a green screen has more than one use. Okay. You can use it for live broadcasting as I'm doing now, or you could use it as a photographic green screen. Okay, If you want to take it somewhere else and you want to take photos of people, you could take photos against the green screen background, and then afterwards, using magical software, you can insert whatever background you want. So if you want the people in the photograph to be on Mount Everest, done, deal. Photograph them in front of the green screen and then upload the photo to your computer. Use a little piece of editing software to remove the green screen, slot in the picture of Everest, job done. Doesn't take long to actually do it. So that's why a green screen is important. Now I'm going to hopefully this will work. Okay, if it doesn't work, then I've got problems. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the green screen software that's actually part of my studio, which is Belive. I'm going over to actually select a piece of artwork. So give me a second. And this, hopefully, I'm not sure how my lighting is today. Now, I'm going to disappear in a second. You'll still hear me, but my picture will disappear. So don't panic about that. I'm still here. But what's happening now is that the background that I chose is being uploaded from my hard drive, and it's being put into the software, and this screen will go blank in 3, toes crossed, and I'm back. So this is a green screen, and the effect of the green screen, as you can see, I've got 10 fingers. Okay, and the thing, I'm going to go back to normal now, but because I'm not totally set up for it, so give me a second. In the world, I'm back now, but it does give you an idea of how easy green screens are to use to actually put a different background, to change the mood of a broadcast. You can bring in a green screen, and that was a quick effort. I'm going to do a video about it, and I'll show you next time. I'm going to make a better video than I did about the C920. So green screens, you're getting near to perfection. There's no separation of your head from the background. It's just seamless. Green screens, seamless. And you can use background removal software on Zoom, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch to change the mood. It's great to go on Zoom and you start off with a green screen, then you just change the background up and people see a different you, literally, not only in terms of color, but in terms of the background, because you could have a background of where you live, you could have an office background, you can have a background of Mount Everest, which I keep coming back to. You can change your backgrounds during the live broadcast, and with a green screen, you're actually going to get high quality. Okay, right, so that's green screens, and green screens are very important. Thank you for watching me on Amazon Live today. Thank you for spending time with me. I do appreciate it. And what we're going to go over to now is this. Okay, it's in the carousel. Right, okay, because I want to show you a couple of videos. And I want to show you a couple of videos that I shot using my Hohem gimbal. Okay, so let's have a look at the gimbal first of all. I need to put the tripod out of the way. We don't need the tripod for this. We don't need the iPad for this. But I do need space on my desktop. I do need to go here. Okay, and I'm going to go picture in picture. So this is my work surface. Those are Aftershokz earbuds. I'm going to shrink myself so you can see even more, because why not? Okay, so I'm going to shrink myself. So now I'm bottom right hand corner. I'm also here. Just an explanation, this is my desktop. My desk will be on Amazon Live next week. It came from Amazon, and brilliant desk, so desking will be part of it. There's the unit I talked about earlier, which is the 4-way USB hub from Anker, $16.99. Theirs is the TP-Link Deco, which is my Wi-Fi. Now, I have to tell you that this Wi-Fi is good, because whilst I'm broadcasting to you now, Angelica is actually teaching German in the other office. So we've got 2 live broadcasts going on at the same time. It's all because of the TP-Link Deco. Then I am, as I said earlier, gardening after this show. this plant is special. This plant is being preserved. It will grow. Basically, you know, it's got a story like everything in my carousel. When you repot plants, sometimes you don't take all the soil out of the old plant pot. This little seed made its way up and just came up one day in a plant pot just with soil in and appeared. We've no idea what it is. Okay. If you can, well, if you can identify what this plant is, then that would be most useful. Yeah, don't know. So we're going to watch this grow. This is a survivor. It grew all the way up the pot, and we're going to keep that. Then the second one, I know I'm digressing, but the second plant is this one, and later this year this plant should bloom. And then finally in the front row we have my mug, my BeLive mug. I work for BeLive, and this is my live broadcast on Amazon Live as me, but I just enjoy working for BeLive. I'm not going to have any drink in this mug. Okay, I'm going to keep it exactly as it is, as a prop. I've got a prop. That's the first time I've said that. This is a prop. This is my BeLive mug. Okay, so BeLive, one of the best ways to broadcast from your browser, Chrome or Safari, 8 people on screen, play YouTube video. Everything that I'm doing today, you can do on BeLive. Yeah, okay. Where was I? Oh, yes. Right, okay. Down in the carousel at the moment. I digressed then, didn't I? Okay. And if you've any questions about anything that I'm showing you today, then please do ask. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is, are you ready? Well, that's the case. Okay. This is the case that it comes in. And I'm going to go here. This is the case that it actually comes in. And it's a very solid case. And it's a contoured case because the unit is actually within the case, and it's embedded within the case and protected. And this is a Hohem iSteady gimbal, okay, which is down the carousel now. I used to be just a desktop guy. I still do broadcast on desktop, but now at weekends, Angelica and I go out and we visit country houses, castles, and national monuments. And I take this gimbal with me, okay? And it means that I can take my mobile phone, which I think I've got somewhere today. Yes, I have. I need it, just a second. The gimbal and my mobile phone are a brilliant combination. Okay, this is the iSteady gimbal. Now, the first thing I want to say is that the gimbal does come, back to me for a minute. Okay, the gimbal does come with a stand, tripod stand, and you can flick out the tripod legs, he said, easily. I'm saying easily, but you never know. You can flick out the tripod legs like so. Okay, and then you can put this on a tripod, which means you can use this to actually do static live video as well, or recording. But is the gimbal, and I'm just tidying my desktop before I switch cameras again. Okay, so this gimbal, okay, the gimbal here, okay, this one. Your mobile, step one, take your mobile phone out of its case. Yeah, that's the first thing you do. Step two, insert your mobile phone into the clamp. Okay, and the clamp expands, so we'll take larger phones. Yeah. Then, having put your phone in with the lens at the top and resting on there, yeah, there's a little lip, you just put it in, that's where your phone goes. Then with the gimbal on a surface like that, don't hold the gimbal when you do the next thing, before you switch your gimbal on, put it on a steady surface, because the first thing a gimbal needs to do is it needs to stabilize, and it can only do that properly if it's on a solid surface. So phone in, and then you can see on the front panel there, you've got buttons to zoom in, zoom out, tilt up, tilt down, and the power button. And when you switch the power button on, the gimbal itself goes into action, and you're ready to actually shoot video, and you're armed with your gimbal and your camera. And the beauty of this is that your phone is protected, so you're not holding the phone and worrying about dropping it. And the second thing is, with the best will in the world, when you're out walking, you're going to go up and down. The gimbal compensates for that, which means that you get a steady photograph. Yeah. Now, what I'm going to do now, because when I got this back in March 2021, I thought, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and I will visit country houses, castles, and national monuments like Stonehenge, and I will go live. So I've got an app on my mobile phone, and once I've switched the gimbal on, I load the app on my phone and I press broadcast, and my live videos go out to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Yeah. And I'm going to show you one of them now, because I can talk about how good this is, but I want to show you how good it is. So I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to lay it down. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a video from my collection, and I'm going to play it to you. Okay. And we're going to go with this one today. So this is the video. We are in Portsmouth, which is on the south coast of England. It's the Royal Navy dockyards. Until 1992, the Royal Navy was stationed there. It's now a working museum, and we're going to see two ships in this video. We're going to see HMS Warrior, which was the first metal-clad ship. We're also going to see HMS Victory, captained by Lord Nelson in the Battle of, well, I'll tell you shortly. Okay, so I'm going to switch my microphone off and press play. And I do want to emphasize that this video was created using the home gimbal. Is an ironclad ship built in Great Britain, and it's steam powered, not sail powered, and we're just going to walk alongside to give you an idea of the size of this. Over there is a tower, 385 feet, I think. You can actually go up in a lift to the top, but we're concentrating on the shipping today as we're at the dockyards. Welcome to HMS Warrior, Her Majesty's ship Warrior, or His Majesty's ship as it was when it was commissioned. And this is just an amazing place. As I pan round, we're actually, the estuary is over there, and we have all the buildings on the right. As usual, I'm broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and my website, live from Portsmouth in England, as Angelica and I do our tour of Hampshire. Okay, so I'm trying to avoid people. And hello.
Are you going on board?
No, we're not.
No,
okay. I think you're not allowed to photograph on board, hence his question, which is a fair one. Today we're just taking a walk around the dockyards as opposed to touring the facilities. It's wonderful because you can actually get onto the dockyards for free, which is what we've done today, and you can walk around and you can film, and nobody's going to stop you. So I'm going to go as far as here and then turn around and watch Angelica coming towards us, and we'll turn around and head back because we don't know what's going to come next. We've just done this part, so Angelica's going to follow me as I turn around. Hey, come here. Right, okay. So we've not been here before, so whatever we see next is a mystery to us as well as to you. But this is Portsmouth, which was the foremost naval dockyard. We've just learnt earlier this morning that the first ships to leave England for Australia in the 1700s left from Portsmouth.